Hey everyone, it's Cobalt here. Welcome back to the channel Cobalt Mood. We are on hour 14, but I had a coffee at 7 and it is now 9:15. I had 45 minutes till the store closed and yeah, I was able to power through. But I definitely lost my sense of looking for plush. I mean, this store is under renovations right now, and so they've been reintroducing product back onto the floor. But what they're showing in the plush section is a lot of modern day stuff, and that's just not what I'm looking for. So I have been spending more time there in the toy section. So I ended up getting quite a good haul, I think, fingers crossed. What we're going to do today is I'm going to open them up because in the store they are taped together and they are model die-cast airplanes. And let me tell you, when I got to checkout, I had like all these old guys behind me just like coming up looking at my cart. Even like when I was checking out, the guy who was checking me out the items he was like, "Oh, what's this?" And then the cashier next to him was like, "Oh, what's that? That's cool." So anyways, I bought, I think, 5 of them. I went ahead and did some preliminary pricing research. And then we are going to open them today and see if there are planes in there or gold bars. I'm cool with either. So we'll just go ahead and get started on the planes. Here's the first one. Taped together. This is called, so it's a ME262A/1A. I don't know military stuff, but I decided to pick it up because I have sold some die-cast cars that I don't know anything about, but I just, do my research, find a title and post it. And they sell for like 40, 50 bucks and they can fit in my hat boxes. So I've been doing well with die-cast when I find them. So that's kind of something I always look for, is like, see if there's any cool older models. But I know military is pretty hot, and I thought, I bet planes are hot too. Seeing as though I got a lot of attention trying to get out of the store, I'm pretty hopeful that these are going to do well for me. But when I was pulling the numbers for it, I noticed that they are a limited edition, so that is great because that usually improves value. But this one has a questionable icon there. I don't really like that. When I was selling books, if I ever got any sort of German questionable book like that, I actually wouldn't sell them. I would just donate them or throw it away. I don't believe in selling that stuff, so this kind of goes against my policy. From my numbers research, I learned that what is supposed to be included is the plane, obviously, and it's already put together. A stand, a pamphlet, maybe, if there's a limited edition. Great news, this one is complete. So it has a little pamphlet in here. Certifies that it is a limited edition number 2,400 of 2,980. It has info about the plane. Most importantly, it has the plane, and this is the stand. I want to go one level deeper. I just want to feel them. Oh yeah. Yeah, it definitely has some weight to it. Oh, I didn't even read the numbers. Okay. Format is questionable today. One sold for 60 bucks. There are only 3 listed, which is great because that means if I don't like the price for one of them, I can just price mine higher and then wait for the lower ones to sell out, and I'll be the only one left and they'll have to pay my price. Okay. There's 2 listed in the sellers in Japan. One of them's for $150 and one is for $112. And there's one listed in Canada for $105 plus $12 ship. So a total of $130. And I spent $10. So looking like we're going to either go from 10 to 60, which if all of them are listed at over 100, I'm not gonna list it at 60. That's cutting the rest of us off. But I will probably list it lower than the rest of them. So maybe I'll list it out, maybe $115 ship, and I'll still be under the lowest one, which is in Canada. So I'll actually be the only US seller. That's actually kind of cool. Look at us. One down. Next one. Forgotten Heroes. And I also spent $10 on this one. Here's what the plane's supposed to look like. It is a F4U-4A Concerbuno. Who could say? At first I thought maybe partially complete, but the wheels that are actually tucked down here and they should be over here. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. And voila! A complete box now. For this one, Forgotten Heroes, there are 2 listed that are used. One for a total of 94. Oh, only one. Jeez. Let me not break it. Let's put it away. There's one listed new. Okay, people on eBay, they like putting new when the box is open. In my opinion, a new is like a sealed version. So I could also list it as new, but I tend to list everything as used. Just my personal policy. Not going to get in trouble with anybody. But anyways, they listed it new for $70, which includes shipping. And it last sold April 16th new, but there was no box, for $40. And I spent $10 on this. Probably just go ahead and list this guy just under the used person. Let this new person sell out. Yeah, so probably around 90, I'll say. Third one, U.S. Modern Warfare. McDonnell Douglas BAE T-45 Goshawk, U.S. Navy. All right, so this one, limited edition. So for this one, small sample size, one sold in February on auction for $106. Another one sold in February, including the box, and that person was in Canada, and they sold it for $145 plus $28 ship, so a total of $173. And currently there's only one listed on eBay, but it doesn't have the box, and it's listed for $37. So quite the difference here on what I could potentially get for the item. And I'm really curious to see what's in this box because the top of it is not level. So I'm like, please be a gold bar. One can dream, right? But yeah, clearly this came from the same collection, and this guy, maybe he clocked out, which is a new phrase to me, but I really like it. All right, give me 55 minutes to open this box. I don't know why, but they're all so hard. Okay, now I know why the stand was not placed in here correctly, which is why it was bending up. This is number 703 of 2010, and this one has the details about the plane on the inside. This one's dirty. I might actually need to take it out and clean it, so maybe I'll set it aside. Oh, there's cute little people in here. There's 2 of them. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Corgi Hawk. Oh no. Let me not break it. Like, don't touch the art, I think, is what's happening. My precious gems. Okay. We're good. It's back together. Yeah, everything was complete on it. Okay, next one. $10 as well. So I think I probably spent $10 on each of them. We can just assume if I hadn't said that in the past. So this one, United States Coast Guard. This is a Boeing PB-1G Flying Fortress. And this one has a sticker on the back from the previous location, and they started it at $50. Oh, look, I'm getting better at the boxes. It slid off so beautifully. All right. This one may be complete. And I say that because you can see below the plane here, there's some plastic, which I'm hoping means it'll fill these spaces, which are supposed to be the wheels. And this one also looks dirty. Oh no, okay, I just noticed that there is a rubber band on here on the plane itself, so there might be an issue with it. But it's fine. It's pre-owned. It's not perfect, so get used to it. So there are currently 5 listed for this one. Pre-owned is anywhere from $40 to $60, including shipping. One recently sold in April for $30 total. One sold in February, listed as new, for a total of $86. And this is one of those new ones where the box was open, so who could say if it's really new? That's number 4. Okay, last one. Bigger than the rest. I did spend a little bit more on it, so this is... spent $13 on this one. It is the United States Coast Guard again, but it is the C-130 Hercules transport plane. And by the way, I don't know if any of you guys are into like military stuff, but this whole video, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, I know what a plane is, I know what the United States and Coast Guard is, but everything else is just like totally going over my head. And I love that I'm going to give this to a collector who actually knows what's happening. But I don't need to know. I don't need to understand, really. I just need to know how to sell it. I just need to know the keywords, which I can pull from the lovely people who have this listed and sold. I don't need to be an expert. I just have to sell it to an expert and get them a price that they want to pay. All right, now that I've learned we can let gravity take over. Haha, killing it. All right, here's the inside. This one has the certificate, so it's number 804 of 2010. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe it has all the parts. Here's the inside. So I think this part that's missing is actually right here. It just slid over. Has the stand completed. It's looking dirty again. Clearly somebody had this out on a shelf and they were generous enough to keep the boxes. So yeah, this just has some dust on it. Okay, let's do the numbers for the last one. So there are 4 listed. There's one listed for a total of $79. And I saw that there were 2 watchers on it and one person had it in their cart. So that person might be out here soon. There was another one listed for a total of $94 and they are located in the US. The last one was listed for $70 free ship and it also had 2 followers. And then lastly, there was a quote-unquote new one listed, open box, for a total of $90. Spent $13 on it. If I go lower than the lowest, yeah, it's going to be around $70. Yeah, so good little margin here, good little flips. It's not $3 to $50, but it is probably plus $40 for each of them in profit. And there are some people that are like, stay in your lane, just pick up what you know. But I need variety, and I know enough to know that these are worth something and that I can just be the facilitator of getting them to the next person. And because they were already in their boxes, like, shipping's gonna be pretty straightforward. They're not gonna move around. They're metal, so they're not gonna break. And yeah, just like probably bubble wrap around it, put it in a box, and then off it goes. Who knows how long it's gonna take. The ones that I did pull that sold were within the last 90 days. So there is some interest on them, even though they are older items. I'm just happy to get this off to the next person. And since I am doing those videos on Mondays, talking about what sold, maybe one of them will be a plane that I sold in one day. I just have to get it listed, but probably cleaned first. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like I did good and I can just be done with today. So we'll see if I give myself that luxury or not. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.